Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. Quick intro, quick outro. I've been doing a lot of traveling this year. I have a lot of ports to show you. Rather than waste a lot of time on these intros, I want to get to the meat and potatoes, as we say in England, of the port. So I'm just going to introduce each port by the area in one suit. This will be the same intro for each one. The headline or the title of the video will tell you where we're going to do. But this one is going to be somewhere. I was on Celebrity Solstice. We went from Hong Kong to Singapore via some places in Vietnam and Thailand. So this video is going to be one of them. Look at the headline, look at the subject matter. You know where we're going to go. We're going there right now. All right, I actually showed this on my tour of Hanoi. We're in Ha Long Bay Cruise Port because it's the exact same way you're going to get to where we are going. Although we are not going very far today. On the Hanoi, we had a 2-hour drive. Here we have like a 20-minute walk, and we are exactly where we need to be. We booked this. The ship was leaving early, so we did this on the second day. When I say early, it was leaving like at 1:30 in the afternoon. So we booked this at 8 o'clock in the morning for an amazing trip, as you're about to see. So we get back to the ship in plenty of time because we do not book cruise tours through the ship. But if you give yourself enough time, you'll always be back on the ship. Anybody you read about that says they didn't make it back, or the stories you hear, they are people that did not plan properly and did not plan accordingly. All of these local companies will give you a guarantee to get you back to the ship. They know what's going on. And if you don't get back to the ship on time, who's going to lose their business? They are. So we have, for 20 years, almost, no, 16 years have been cruising. And we don't do ship tours. Anyways, we are walking out. See that yellow bus there? That's important. That's a shuttle you can take to the area where you meet your private tours, because all of these buses here are for the ship tours only. If you want to go on to meet your private tour, you have to walk to the outside of the port to a building I will show you momentarily. So we have just walked out the port a little bit. I'm just showing you a quick span, and I'll show you this again in a moment. That is a cable car. You can see it in the middle of there leading over to a Ferris wheel. We didn't have time to go on it, but I heard it's amazing. This was taken the day before we did the actual boat ride, and I'll show you a video on the boat ride day because it was overcast this day. It was worse the next day, I can promise you, which was very disappointing because where we were going, you really needed bright sunshine to make it look beautiful, but it was still a great day. So we will continue walking up. That yellow building is where we are going to meet our tour guide, but we actually met him halfway because we knew from the day before there's one of the shuttle buses that will take you if you don't want to walk, because it is quite a long walk, as you can see. But we are going to these boats that are on our right hand side. Actually ours is on the left hand side. We actually rented one of these. Now in my previous video I said we paid about $150 for one of these. It was actually $150 each, but we had a private boat with an amazing dinner that you are about to see. So we went through a company called Tours by Locals and did this as an add-on to our tour. This is the building where you will meet your guide. But again, we'd met him here the day before because we used him for a tour to Hanoi, and the next day we used him for this boat ride. So we actually met him halfway down nearer where the boats are. But I just wanted to show you this so you would know where to go to meet your guide. This is for private tours. You'll see the little shuttle vans over there on the right, and you'll see people here waiting to meet you. So again, this is where you'll come to meet your guide. This is basically the cruise center, and there are some shops and stuff inside there. And that is where you would go if you were heading out of town or whatever, or what we're doing today, which is taking a private tour, but on our own private boat. And as I said previously, we could have gone on a ship tour and joined about 20 others and be crammed in on the boat, but we paid a little bit extra and got a private boat all to ourselves. So here we are walking down to all the boats, and wait till you see what we got. Again, I can't stress enough, this boat was hours and hours only. And it's one of these, they're all pretty much the same. So they have all these boats that you can go out on private tours. You could book one on the day. It may not cost as much as we paid because, like, again, we booked it through a company that had a private guide. I am sure that you could book these yourself. A bit of a language barrier, so and didn't want to embarrass our guide, so we did not ask. But you can see how many there are. But there was also a lot of them that went out, and pretty much all at the same time as well. There's our guide, so that must be our boat. Yes, it is. No, it's not. This one's ours. My bad. Or is it? How's that for a memory? Can't even remember which boat ours was. I guess our tour guide knew everybody. They're all waiting for their guests. This was our boat for the day. Again, our boat. Nobody else, just us. So we came on board. Julie's already in there sitting down. So we got a big meal you'll see at the end. It was amazing. We have free beers, drinks, everything was on the house, as it were. Now, they always do try and sell you stuff, so be warned about that. Bring some extra cash if you want, because they will have a lot of knickknacks and touristy stuff you can buy. Not the highest quality, but you know. And it had the toilet on there. There's the kitchen where they cooked all the food. Again, still in a bit of disbelief that we actually had this to ourselves. $150 each. It was amazing. Go back inside again. Now, if you did a ship tour, all these tables would be taken up, I am pretty confident. All right, this is our safety briefing from our guide, because the people running the boat could not speak English. So he's just going over where everything is on the boat, where the toilets are, what we can do, what we can't do. In a moment, he's going to show us our life jackets. So yeah, a safety briefing from the tour guide, which is a bit unique. It's not quite the same as you would expect in America in a lot of ways out here, but you have to be ready for that. But yeah, it's absolutely fine, of course. Here he is showing us where the life jackets are underneath the tables. Right there, life jackets. So we were pretty safe, I felt, coming out of here right now. Yeah, that was quite interesting, so I thought I'd take a quick video of him doing that and explaining everything to us. But let's carry on with the tour of this wonderful little boat before we leave. Oh, yep, there's our drinks we can get, by the way. Oh, yeah. Wine, beer, soda, all free. Trust me, I took advantage of the beer. And this is the upper level. We are just leaving now, but we filmed on the upper level. All the boats look pretty much the same. And they all left at pretty much the same time. There was a mad dash to get out. But again, and you can maybe notice this in the distance, the overcast conditions, which we were going to pay for in a little bit. Unfortunately, not in rough seas or anything, just in the views were not as spectacular as they clearly could have been. Because I'd seen a lot of YouTube videos coming into this, and I was so excited for this tour. So it was a little bit disappointing, but what can you do? It's nobody's fault. You cannot control the weather. But here we are backing out. And again, like I said, this is our boat. We're going to make our way out to the Ha Long Bay area and see some amazing sights. We're going to go into a cave, which was fantastic. Just an all-round excellent day. One of my favorite days on the entire cruise, this one was. You can see the ship in the distance. We are not too far from it. They do a lot of night cruises with DJs on and stuff like that. If you were ever in for, if you wanted to go on the overnight portion, you'll see another boat leaving there. They have little cruises that come out of here where you can actually go on a couple of days cruise and do tours and all that. There's so many options, but we obviously didn't have time for that, so we just did this. It ended up being about, I want to say 4 hours. So this is the upper level to get the view while we're up top. Pretty impressive. Start being a drinking game when I keep saying this was just ours. 2 chairs just for us. Tontang number 19. I don't know how you pronounce that. If I did anything terribly pronunciation wise, I apologize. Here comes Julie to look around with our tour guide. I wish I could remember his name. It's so embarrassing. I think it was Pham, but I am not 100% sure. And you'll see in the distance, there's the cable car with the Ferris wheel, how overcast it was today. Again, worse than the day before, unfortunately. We also saw some fishing boats out there, which was quite unique. They not the biggest, and they go a long way out. They are brave people. I wonder if I'm drinking a beer in this video. I'm pretty sure. Yep, there we are. Beer time. Great video from Julie. She's the best, isn't she? I would edit it, but you know, I just wanted to show how great she is at taking video. This is the life, is how you would capture that picture. So here we are heading out. You'll see the other boats heading out as well. I'm going to pan around a little bit and show you how many were dashing out to get there at the same time. They're all doing the same tour, so it's pretty crowded, but not terrible by any means. And once we get past the first stop, it's a little bit staggered, so it's not so busy. They're all dashing to get to the caves, the underground caves. There's a fishing boat I was telling you about. See them trawling behind. Good stuff. Now here we are coming up to our first stop. I wanted to get some video on the way, but it was just the clouds were covering everything. As you can see here, you really couldn't see anything, which was a big shame, but you'll see some more of it later in the video. We're heading into here where you see all those boats, and we're going to go into some caves, which was stunning. Although it was a bit treacherous getting on and off the boat, I'm not going to lie, it was very slippery. Make sure you have good grip on your shoes if you do this tour, because I almost slipped 4 or 5 times getting on and off the boat. Here we are in the port, about to go into the caves, and look at that. Stunning. You got all the guides showing you, you know, all the stalagmites and the stalactites and all that good stuff. Yeah, I've seen a lot of caves. This is one of the most impressive I've seen. It was enormous and so many great sights, and there was a lot of like just great views for great pictures. We were probably in here for about 20-25 minutes walking around. And I took several other videos, but I didn't want to overindulge in that on this one. Just give you an idea of what it looks like in there. And if you ever go yourself, you'll get to enjoy the beauty of it from your own personal eyes. Really, really good. And I think it's pretty standard on this tour that they are going to stop here before they continue and take you around. So here we are back out the other side. There are the boats waiting to take us back out again. This was the most treacherous, as Julie likes to say, part of it, getting back on the boat, because the steps we had to go down to get were basically moss, and it was incredibly slippery. So yeah, good luck if you are not steady on your feet going down there. But we headed out, and we headed back in to look at the sights and sounds of the area, which you'll see a little bit here. You can imagine what this is like on a clear and sunny day. It was still beautiful, but how much nicer this would be on a clear and sunny day. I really was excited to get a time lapse leaving the port, but it just wasn't very good. And you'll see there's not so many boats driving around right now. Now we had the opportunity on the way to get out and go on a canoe ride, which we turned down the opportunity to do. We just wanted to enjoy the sights a bit more. But you'll see that in a second. More boats catching up to us. But some stunning views. And this is where the ship leaves through, so you can only imagine what it looks like on a clear day again when the ship is leaving. Not through here, but through the outskirts of it. So you'll get some amazing, amazing views leaving on a nice day. That white boat ahead there is probably one of those more cruise, like overnight type of ones, or somebody's big private yacht. So these ones do the day trips, but they do have bigger ones that can do overnights and all that good stuff. You'll see them in the port. This is where we did get off here. We could have gone in one of these little canoes and gone canoeing around. There's some underwater caves we could have gone into as well over there, I believe. But we just chose not to. But we got out to video it to show you what it looks like if you decided to. You just jump in one of those boats with the riders there and they will take you. Or you can get your own. And this is a very famous rock, because you look at this from different sides and different angles and it looks different from one side to the other. I think I'll show you that in a picture in just 1 second. Yep, that's the fish rock, they call it. and from the other side it looks completely different, like the chicken rock they called it, I believe. And then the way back in, this was our dinner. It was absolutely stunning and amazing what we had on the way back in. It was all part of the cost. So I cannot tell you how great this was and how awesome this trip was for $150 each to get a private boat, drinks, food, the caves, everything. I thoroughly recommend it. So I hope that was an enjoyable video to show you an option to do in Ha Long Bay, especially if you're in on a short port stop. And we got back and I took one more last video of the cable car. You don't see the cable car in this one with the Ferris wheel, just to give you an idea. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour of Ha Long Bay on our little private boat trip with food and drinks. What a day this was. Really will live in my memory for a very, very long time. Alright, there you are. That was a port somewhere between Hong Kong and Singapore. Again, look at the subject. Or you just watched it, you know where it was. But yeah, I don't need to go waffling on and on. I'm just going to say, if you enjoyed that video, please subscribe to this lovely little channel. It's a little channel, I will admit. Hit the button if you want to be notified, the bell rather, if you want to be notified when these videos come out. Leave a like, leave a comment, or whatever. I will reply to all comments. And if you have any questions, please email me. My email is coming up in a second. If you have any traditions or cruising tips, please send them to me. I do a cruising tip and traditions video every Monday. Every Thursday, I put out a cabin video. And every Saturday, a video like this. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully you get to go to whatever that port was. Because it was wonderful. Because I've never been to a bad one. Well, yeah, a couple. Not on this cruise, though. I'll see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.